Good morning, everyone. My name is Udit Agarwal, and I'm here to talk about the topic developing a transformational AI product strategy for e-commerce. I'm here to talk about this topic because I've spent 7 years in shopping and e-commerce product management. I started out as one of the early members of the pickup and the grocery delivery team within Walmart. We launched this in 2018. I've also spent time building the front end experiences for customers at Walmart, as well as third party sellers that were enabled to sell products on the Walmart third party seller marketplace platform. Most recently, I switched to Google and I started out within the payment space, which is a related area to e commerce. And then currently, I'm working on enabling AI shopping experiences across multiple services at Google, such as YouTube, the AI mode on search, as well as the Gemini app. So, just a quick notes from me on the importance of AI within e commerce. AI has historically been a key enabler for e commerce, but with changing times today, companies are making riskier bets and incorporating AI in a host of other experiences. So, some of the opportunities where AI is already being used today is number one, creating hyper personalized experiences. What personalization is tuning the experience to a specific user. It uses advanced predictive analytics and it analyzes user data and predicts outcomes for that user based on the data that might be available for that user or similar users. The second one is operational optimization. This is one of the more mature areas, and AI is being used for operational optimization. Is things like batching of orders, route optimization, and I would say this is one of the more mature areas because within e-commerce, the margins are razor thin. And a lot of the players now are large enough and have scale for them to make sizable bets on operational optimization to really improve their bottom line. So I would say the likes of Uber, DoorDash, Walmart, Amazon, they all have different delivery models. Some are operating in a localized delivery model, some are operating in the parcel delivery model. But all those core capabilities around batching, route optimization applies to all the delivery models and is turning out to be a sizable bet for each kind of e-commerce player. So operational optimization is the second big opportunity. The third one is data-driven decision making. And what AI has really enabled companies to do is analyze large data sets and large data stores to predict trends and predict outcomes, and in turn offer better experiences to the users. As you might know, like within e-commerce, customers now have very, very broad choices, and really arriving at the final purchase product requires a lot of effort. It requires sorting through hundreds of products that you might see online or see in the store, and what AI enables these users to do is really narrow down or streamline the process of narrowing down those hundreds of products to the final product that the user might want to purchase. So that's a key unlock, given the state of AI today. And the last one is business growth and efficiency. This is a key unlock for the e-commerce players themselves. And what they're using AI to do is drive outcomes that they feel are good outcomes for these e-commerce players, which are higher conversion rates, reduced cart abandonment rates, and in turn improving customer lifetime value, which in turn drives revenue. It drives improved cash flows for these e-commerce players. So those were some high-level opportunities, but where do they actually apply within the e-commerce business model? I would say e-commerce is highly complex because it involves a host of stakeholders, working in different roles to kind of come together and deliver this streamlined experience. It has a tech component, but it also has an operational component. And AI has a role to play and a big opportunity to optimize experiences for all of these stakeholders. So let's talk about who these stakeholders are and what they do. So starting out, obviously, you have the shopper that is shopping online. The second stakeholder is the seller, specifically if he's the third-party seller that is selling, let's say, on a platform like Amazon or Walmart. And then you could have 1P sellers as well, like a player like Walmart selling products themselves on their own platform, which would compete with the third-party seller in that case. So I think that is the second category. Then you also have companies like Shopify that are working with sellers and enabling them to sell products across a range of e-commerce platforms. But if you're working in a large e-commerce platform, which offers third-party seller integration, then the likes of Shopify would also be one of the key stakeholders, and you would need to provide APIs and tooling for them to enable their sellers to be able to sell on your platform, which would be a key revenue unlock for you. The fourth type of stakeholder would be the store employees, and these would be employees that would be working in the stores. And store employees actually become very, very important for offerings such as pickup in store, or store employees actually picking orders for you, which are delivered using a more localized delivery model. So the likes of Instacart, the likes of DoorDash, Uber Eats, they pick up items from the store and kind of in turn deliver them to you. And store employees are key stakeholders in that process in getting those items to you. So store employees are, especially the picking process for the store employees is another key area where AI could play a key role. Warehouse employees is the other one, especially in the parcel delivery model. Keeping products in stock in the warehouse can reduce kind of shipping time, and AI can play a key role in optimizing for a host of metrics in these large fulfillment centers across the globe today. I've personally worked with delivery drivers, which are another set of stakeholders. I personally have developed the AI app, and I've worked on things like batching of orders, etc. And this is a large opportunity for e-commerce players to actually optimize their costs through providing best in class and efficient technology that is enabling some of these delivery drivers to optimize for the turnaround time for orders, the on-time delivery, and then in turn, obviously, the cost per delivery. So yeah, delivery drivers is another set of stakeholders. Customer care is another one that I'm seeing really increased adoption in recent times. And this is because the cost of each customer care call, especially if the customer care associates are based in the US, is significantly high. I've seen estimates ranging all the way from $20 to $70, and especially if the e-commerce player is operating at scale, these costs are pretty significant and warrant significant investment, especially AI investment, given the opportunity to bring those costs down. So customer care associates is the other segment that we can kind of optimize for using AI. And the last one is middle mile logistics, which is the step between keeping the fulfillment center stocked to getting the products, let's say, from the merchant, from the larger fulfillment centers, this also had the same element around like route optimization, batching, to ensure that products are in stock, and then also the shipping cost is kind of optimized for. So optimizing for all of these stakeholders requires significant investment and significant focus. And depending on which area you're working in, essentially you would have to unlock some of these opportunities using a product strategy, using a roadmap, and that's what we'll talk about next. So a robust product strategy has 4 key components, namely the vision, the opportunity, metrics that measure business impact, and the roadmap. So let's talk about what each of these are and what is their importance. Starting with the vision. I've yet to see a robust and a very well appreciated product strategy without a bold vision statement. In my opinion, the vision statement is an artifact that brings cross-functional stakeholders together who may be from a variety of backgrounds. For larger teams, it enables teams to function autonomously and make investments in the right areas. And hence, the vision statement should be very well thought out in context of the broader goal and also in context of the time period of the product strategy that you might want to enable. So let's talk about what the vision statement might look like for some of the opportunities that we'd identified in the previous slides. An example of a product of a bold vision statement for e-commerce could be creating an AI-driven ecosystem that predicts customer needs and delivers best-in-class customer experiences at each touch point. It could be customer service, product recommendations, competitive pricing. As you may know, in the context of competitive pricing, players like Amazon update prices of products every minute or every few minutes. I apologize. So having AI-enabled and very dynamic and very well-informed pricing can lead to better customer outcomes. The second topic would be enhanced personalization. We spoke about the importance of personalization previously, and how personalization could have a bold vision statement would be something along the lines of using AI to hyper-personalize shopping experiences to deliver products that customers will love, turning every visit into a highly curated journey. This kind of delivers a message around like why personalization could be important and what is the end result that you would expect from a personalized experience. Similarly, for predictive analytics, automation for operations, as well as driving better business and customer outcomes could have bold vision statements to realize the results that the company might want to drive there. Next up, we have the opportunity. The opportunity is a section within the product strategy that focuses on where the investments, what areas of investments have been shortlisted to create the maximum impact. It is also complemented by user pain points. In my opinion, user pain points need to be drafted and shortlisted in a way that warrant the right solutions that the team can implement. Often, and I have in many times made the same mistake where I've drafted pain points that are difficult to solve either via a tech solution or an operational solution. And having those as part of the PRD that the team should work on may not yield the desired outcome that you might want to drive. So shortlisting the pain points, prioritizing them based on what the product goals might be is something that could help the team kind of inform and invest in the right areas as a result or as an outcome of your product strategy. Some of the categories of opportunities that you might want to shortlist, if you're working in an e-commerce business as a product manager in optimizing for experiences for the range of stakeholders that we spoke about, could be in areas such as personalization for discovery, for product search, product content generation. A lot of the times the content that is available for e-commerce players needs to be generated or manually input, and AI could play a role there, or personalization could benefit from better content generation. So those areas of investments need to be shortlisted and then prioritized based on the opportunity and based on the product goals. Automation and cost optimization is the other one. Categories of opportunities could be potentially using chatbots to make the customer care better, making investments such as agentic commerce, where you simplify returns, you simplify how customers kind of bid in auctions on platforms such as eBay, so that some of these agents could kind of take actions on behalf of users. Other areas could be delivery. You make the delivery experience better. Maybe you want to focus on cost. Maybe you want to focus on speed. Maybe you want to focus on some of the doorstep experience of the customer. So there are multiple areas where that could warrant an investment based on where your business is and what the importance um, for your specific need might be. And lastly, it could be predictive analytics. Maybe you want to invest in better pricing to kind of improve your margins. And then the other opportunity that I see drawing a lot of investment these days is fraud detection and prevention, because not only does this hurt you from a compliance standpoint, it could also impact your bottom line with things like chargebacks. So the third component of the product strategy is North Star metrics to measure success and business impact. If you're working in big tech, you probably know this, but measuring business impact of the features and capabilities that are launched take up significant effort and focus of PMs, especially in large tech companies. And in fact, therefore, articulating the metrics beforehand as part of your product strategy that you would optimize kind of lays the groundwork of success of the team and success of the overall product, going forward in the future, especially if you're working in the product context of an org level strategy. So if based on which area of the business you're working in, revenue impact is the most direct measure of success, especially if you're selling a product, if you're selling a service. But there are lots of PM roles, and I've actually worked in a number of PM roles that do not directly drive revenue. They could either be on the cost side or they could indirectly drive revenue. And if you're part of those areas and you cannot directly correlate movement in revenue to some of your launches, then there are other metrics, which are L2 level metrics that you could optimize for, or cost side metrics that you could optimize for, that would indirectly drive the org level goals. And these could be essentially across the user funnel, right from when the user onboards onto the platform, all the way to when it makes a purchase. So some of these steps of the entire user funnel is acquisition, conversion, retention, which is how active the user is, how engaged the user is with the platform. You have referrals, operations, which are cost side metrics. And then you also have AI metrics, especially if you have AI enabled experiences, the performance of the AI, the utilization of the AI, and obviously like the performance and the feedback from the users on the performance of the AI are some of the metrics that you could measure and you could optimize for as part of your roadmap. And the list is here. For retention, you have monthly active users as an example. You have CSAT is customer satisfaction score, NPS is net promoter score. So these are on the referral side, you have the referral rate, which is how often are users of your platform kind of referring for you to get new users through a new channel. And therefore, these are all examples. There could be other metrics as well. But I guess the principle here is focusing on revenue if you can directly drive it. But if you're working in a role that's not directly impacting revenue, then measuring the metrics across the user funnel or across the entire cost value chain to really be able to articulate your impact to the overall org level goals. And the last component of a product strategy is the roadmap. The roadmap is essentially something that you would execute on, you would enable, you would launch, that would in turn drive org level goals as articulated by the metrics that we spoke about on the earlier slide. Now, developing a roadmap involves kind of a collaborative exercise, but there are three components to the roadmap as I see it, especially if you're working in an AI product management role. The first one is features and capabilities. The second one being tech debt, and the third one being AI foundational investments. Now, let's talk about what each of them are and then why are they important. So features and capabilities could be front-end features that are user-facing features as well as back-end capabilities. The way you could go about kind of developing or collecting ideas for these could be running a collaborative road mapping session with your broader stakeholders or with potential clients, running an intake process, running a UXR study. And then this in turn, these activities should result in solutions to pain points that you shortlisted. And you should be able to articulate how much this would drive the North Star metrics that you had articulated as part of your product strategy to demonstrate business impact, which is your end goal. So features and capabilities should be directly transferable or directly impacting or related to the business impact and the metrics that you would want to move. The second component is tech debt. Now, tech debt may not directly tie into your North Star metrics. However, they do have long-term benefits. I've seen a number of teams devote 10 to 30% of your roadmap based on how mature your product is to tech debt. And what tech debt is essentially making your code easier to iterate on and easier to scale. It ensures long-term software sustainability and reduces maintenance costs for engineering, helping you to move faster, sometimes in the short term, and in other cases over the longer term. So I have seen teams devote 10 to 30% of their roadmap on tech debt, and this could be I guess led by engineering and prioritized by engineering. The last component I've seen, which the team could essentially devote some investment as part of the roadmap on, is AI foundational investments. AI-based features, AI-based capabilities require development of foundational infrastructure that could be significant to scale. And without those foundational capabilities, essentially AI features may not have the necessary quality or may be cost prohibitive to develop from a feature standpoint. And some of these core foundational capabilities include data center support, data centralization, ability to optimize for resources, ability to train models, having customer data and customer signals and product signals in ways that could easily be used to either train models or be used to generate data that could be used by models as inputs to generate certain outputs. So if you are in an AI product management role, do devote certain focus and certain effort as part of your roadmap on AI foundational investments. So after you've collected all of the ideas for features and capabilities, tech debt, as well as the AI foundational investments, the final step to completing the roadmap is stack ranking initiatives based on your prioritization criterion. This could be a combination of effort, effort-based criterion, as well as the business impact-based criterion. This is a very rough framework of something that you could use. And I've personally used this previously, which is listing all of the features and capabilities on the left-hand side and collecting them maybe in Excel sheet or in Google Sheets, and then coming up with an estimate of how much each feature and capability would move your North Star metrics. You could have like an impact-based score, and obviously alongside you could have the effort, and then based on the effort as well as the impact of a specific initiative, which could be under tech debt, it could be AI foundational investments, and it could be under features and capabilities, you could assign a priority of P0, which is a must-do within the specified time frame, or a P1, which is to be done on a best effort basis. Sometimes, different classes of initiatives, it's difficult to compare amongst themselves, and therefore a prioritization criterion may need to provide the necessary flexibility so that that a tech debt initiative, I guess, is only compared with another tech debt initiative and remains independent of a feature and capability. So, people, I have seen adopt a portfolio approach where they set aside effort for each component of the roadmap, namely the tech debt, AI foundational investments, and features and capabilities. And then once they've set aside effort for each part of the roadmap, they shortlist the features and capabilities based on the effort dedicated to that segment, which is features and capabilities. You may have 10 initiatives that you would stack rank based on your effort versus impact framework, independent of the initiatives that are there in tech debt, independent of the AI foundational investment initiatives. And this is an iterative process, and yes, requires a lot of discussion, a lot of alignment, and developing the narrative around which initiatives to shortlist is actually a big role of a PM, especially in big tech. So distilling the feature, infra, and tech debt ideas using a portfolio approach into a prioritized list of initiatives is a critical success step for any PM. So that was kind of my take on developing a transformational AI product strategy for e-commerce based on my experience, and just a high level, I guess a bird's eye view into some of the frameworks I've used, but to kind of distill that down into three main takeaways for you, for ease of understanding. I would say e-commerce has multiple stakeholders that work together, and each stakeholder brings a unique value proposition, but also has a role to play. And AI can really enable and optimize each stakeholder based on the scale, cost, and revenue contribution of the function to really bring out the best in the e-commerce experience and the outcome that one may want to drive. So I think that's the first kind of takeaway I wanted to highlight. The second one is specifically for a PM. It's time for product managers to be bold and transformational and rethink the business models for the areas that they might be working on from the ground up, since AI can really transform each aspect of the business. We spoke about lots and lots of opportunities, and some of those opportunities have historically not been AI enabled. So with the induction of AI, there's enormous potential to really transform each of those areas. So I think that's the second takeaway I wanted to highlight. The third one is a successful AI transformation in any business does require robust product strategy, which requires the 4 components. So I would encourage you to at least have those 4 components articulated. And then as part of those 4 components, as part of the roadmap, which is one of those components, focus on features and capabilities that would move the business impact metrics, but also set aside some investment towards AI foundational infrastructure investments, which would enable you to move faster in induction of AI into different parts of your business. So yeah, thank you for attending my talk. I'm based in SF, as you can see from my background. That's the Golden Gate Bridge, which is a very famous bridge in my city. If you're in the city and have any questions or want to discuss product management topics, do connect with me on LinkedIn. And thank you for attending this webinar.